so he would feel like less of a prop. Comedy relief was probably a good thing in Johnny Quest, if nothing else to spare its core audience of 8-year-olds from having too many nightmares about abominable snowmen or robot spiders. When former employees from the studio talk about working on Johnny Quest back in the 60s, they have little good to say about the experience. It caused long hours, missed vacations, and little time for family. A studio already at maximum output was trying to do the impossible on a weekly TV schedule, and many suffered under the burden. Hanna-barbera had 2 network shows on the air, Quest and the Flintstones, and this enormous burden, more than 50 half-hours needed to be produced for the year, in addition to their syndicated series, created all kinds of trouble at Johnny Quest, because quality control became impossible. As these frames from actual episodes show, many of these animators were incapable of drawing in the style Johnny Quest relied on. In one interview, Doug admitted that Hanna-barbera did not have the kind of artists or animators to actually do what they set out to do with Johnny Quest. To meet deadlines, many different animators worked on the Quest show, some pulling double duty on the Flintstones and other series also in production. Some nights he would get calls from artists in a panic because they simply could not draw nor authentically animate in the style Doug's design set for the show. What I wanted was a moving comic strip, Wildey said, with the blacks and shadow, and that it became a matter of educating network people that creating and animating this kind of artwork didn't come cheap, because more drawings would be required and with much greater detail. This meant it would take more time, and time, of course, is money. It was turning out to be one bold experiment, all right. Hanna-barbera watched costs climb as more and more effort was funneled into the series to maintain the documentary reality they had promised the series would showcase. Oftentimes, a shot drawn to be photographed at one distance, say this one, then gets used for a tighter shot as well. This avoids the time and expense of creating a wide shot and a close-up shot, but the problem is that when you punch in too close for a shot that wasn't intended for it, you get this, when it should look like this.
So you have no idea why that native would be so afraid of you?
None. Unless he has run amok. They do sometimes, you know.
He spoke of dragons.
A classic Quest shortcut I call the off-screen turnaround is when an object would fly or run out of frame, and then it would simply re-enter the frame, now heading in the opposite direction, avoiding the complex drawings it would take to show the object turn around. This actually helped the storytelling on occasion, because you didn't always expect the object to suddenly reappear the way it does. Creating the element of surprise that you wouldn't get if you simply watched the object turn around.